So you're probably here for physics. I like physics too. Physics deals with numbers, and with numbers we have calculations. We have to have a calculation, and in order to do that, we're going to have some type of calculator. So I'm going to use a couple of these, not every single one of these. I picked up a whole bunch of calculators, and we're going to do a problem and to see how they compare. So let me start off. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to do one calculation, lots of calculators. Now, you may say, hey, you should use this. This is a mini slide rule. I actually have a big one too, but I just brought my small one. So yes, I am going to also do this calculation with the slide rule. However, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until this channel gets 10,000 subscribers. Yes, that's a lot, but I can do it. And I'm going to save that. So that's something for you to work towards, right? So that when I get 10,000, I'm going to solve the same problem, but I'm going to use the slide rule. Okay, so let me just show you some of these. I'm going to show you one of these calculators, and then we're going to get started. This is the ones that I'm not going to use. Okay, I found this one. This is a Texas Instruments TI Programmable 59, and it's got this nice little LED, red LED thing, but it doesn't turn on. It's missing the battery pack. I think there is an external power supply for it. It also has a little master library module in there. This is really cool. I want to get this working. I really do. I love this. I love the sound of the buttons. Can you hear that? I love that. Okay, so that's not working, but I would do it on this one. So I have some other calculators. Let's just go ahead and get started with the problem. And I started this before, so let's just start. I'm going to start over. Here's the problem that we're going to solve. Okay, so I wanted something with scientific notation in it, and so the idea was, if this is the Earth, how high above the Earth, what altitude above the surface of the Earth would you have to go such that the gravitational field is 7 newtons per kilogram? So the gravitational field due to the Earth is g, the gravitational constant, 6.67 times 10 to the negative 11th, times the mass of the Earth, 5.972 times 10 to the 24th, divided by the distance between these 2 points squared. So the radius of the Earth is 6.37 times 10 to the 6th, and then I'm trying to solve for h. So if I just put in r squared is r plus h, squared. Now, and I know g, I'm trying to solve for h. So let's just multiply both sides by re plus h squared and divide by g, and then I get, and then take the square root. I'm not focusing on solving problems here. I get re plus h equals the square root of g me over g. So h is going to be equal to the square root of g me over g minus re. And if I put in my numbers without the units, I get the square root of 6.67 times 10 to the negative 11th. I'll leave off the units. Mass of the Earth, 5.972 times 10 to the 24th. And that's all divided by 7, and then minus 6.371 times 10 to the 6th. That's what I want to calculate. And I'm going to do that same calculation with the different calculators. I'm going to start with this one. This is, something that you might even get that's free. I don't even know what brand this is. No brand. I do like it because it has a solar panel on the top. It's super cheap. And if it doesn't work, then you can just get a new one and you don't have to worry about that. Now, it does have a square root button, but it doesn't have scientific notation. It doesn't have trig. So if you're looking for a calculator for your physics class, don't get this one. But I'm going to use this one anyway. Okay, so let's turn it on. Let's see. Can you see that? Yeah. And so how do I enter this, right? Because I have scientific notation numbers in here. So I have a problem. I can still do this, and I'm going to do this. Let's start with this, but I have to do a little work. So we take for granted all the things our calculators can do, so that when we have to do a little bit of work, it's some trouble. Let me just go ahead and write this. So tell you what I'm going to do. See, I can't enter scientific notation, but this is 6.67. This is 10 to the negative 11th. This is 5.972 times 10 to the 24th. I don't need to do it in that order. I can switch the order around. So I'm going to rewrite that. So let's write this as h equals the square root, I'm going to write 6.67, and then I'm going to put 5.972, and then I'm going to put 10 to the negative 11th, and then I'm going to put 10 to the 24th, all of that over 7, minus 6.37 times 10 to the 6th. Okay, so I just changed the order. You can do that with multiplication. Now I have 10 to the negative 11th times 10 to the negative 10 to the 24th. I can do that without a calculator, right? Because if I'm multiplying 2 powers of 10, I just add the exponents. So negative 11 plus 24 is 13, right? Yes. So that means I get h equals the square root of 6.67, 5.972, 10 to the 13th over 7 minus 6.37 times 10 to the 6th. Okay, now, but I still can't take the square root of 10 to the 13th. However, I can write this as 10 to the 12th times 10 in the square root. Now, 10 to the 12th, I know the square root of that, because what times what gives me 10 to the 12th? And that's 10 to the 6th. So this is the square root of 10 to the 12th is 10 to the 6th. So I can pull that out front, and I can get h equals 10 to the 6th times the square root of 6.67 times 5.972 times 10 over 7 minus 6.37 times 10 to the 6th. So now I can start doing this. I can do this number right here. Let's do that with my little calculator. Okay, so I'm going to say 6.67. Is that dot in there? Yeah. Times 5.972 times 10 divided by 7 equals. And then I can take the square root. So I get 7.54. So I have 7.54 times 10 to the 6th. So I'm going to write that as 7.54 times 10 to the 6th. And then I have minus 6.37 times 10 to the 6th. Now I got to do a little bit more algebra, because I have both of these have 10 to the 6th, so I can factor that out. This is going to be 7.54 minus 6.37, all that times 10 to the 6th. And again, I can do that on my calculator. I already have that number, and it's going to say minus 6.37. Oh, I should put this down. Equals. And I get 1.17 times 10 to the 6th meters equals h. Did it with this little guy. Okay. That wasn't so bad, huh? Okay, let's go back over to here. Let's do it with another calculator. I'm just going to pick this one. This is a Casio. These two calculators are pretty comparable. Okay. This is the Texas Instrument. This is a Casio. I like both of these a lot. They do not have a graphing function. So that's, if you need a graphing calculator, that won't work. But they're like cheap. They both have solar panels. Is that a solar panel? Yeah. So you don't have to worry about the batteries. I think, in my mind, I'm thinking $11, but definitely not going to break the bank. I like this one, but the keys are kind of hard to read. And let's use this one. Okay. So let's just use this one and put this one in right here. So let's see what we can do. Turn it on. Now, warning, I have not used these calculators. I'm not a big calculator guy. So I am figuring these out as I go. On. Oh, here's on. See? Okay, let's just see if I can enter first. Let's see if I do square root first. Yeah, so this is the kind where you enter the whole expression in, and then you evaluate it. So let's see how that goes. I'm going to use parentheses, even though you probably don't need to. 6.67 now times 10 to the negative 11. I don't think that's right. Let's just see if it does that. Okay, I think it did, because it gave me 10 to the negative 6. Okay, so I'm learning things as we go along. So parentheses 6.67 10 to the negative 11th, then times 5.972 times 10. I don't really like this times 10, even though that makes more sense. It's just I'm not used to it. Times 10 to the 24. That doesn't look right, but okay. All that divided by 7. Now, how do I get out of the square root? Let's see if that works. Minus 6.37 times 10 to the 6th. If this works, I'll be super surprised. Okay, so now I got the same thing. So I have 1173515.6. So that's not in scientific notation. So if I move this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I get 1.17 times 10 to the 6th. That's the same thing. Okay, that worked. Not too bad. Not too bad. Okay, let's go into another calculator. Here I have two other calculators that I find very comparable. This is an older Casio, and this is a TI-83 Plus. This one is super common. I see a lot of students have this. I do see a lot of students with calculators like this too, though, which is good. I like these. These have graphing capabilities. This one's, I think, even in color. Yay. I don't think that really matters. This one's actually really old. This one's probably 20 years old. I don't know how old this one is. The problem with both of these is even now you're going to be paying, $100, $150 for these. They're not cheap calculators. So unless you are required to have these, this is my own personal feeling. If you're in my physics class, I would say don't get this calculator. But if you're in a math class that requires you to have this calculator, then you should probably do what's required. I haven't used this one in a while. I used this one recently, so I'm going to do it in this one in the same thing. But I think they're very similar in the way they work. So let's put that one down. Okay, so turn it on. Oh, I got something in there already. So now I'm just going to do the same thing. So you have to be really careful about parentheses and order of operations here. The one mistake I see a lot of students make in all of these is they incorrectly do scientific notation, which is kind of nice with that Casio because it had 10 to the power. Okay, so let's enter this in. Let's do the square root first. Let's see if that works. Square root. And it gave me the parentheses. Now I'm going to say 6.67 scientific notation. Scientific notation. The other thing that you should do is to have a calculator that you're comfortable with so that you don't have to do what I'm doing right now. I think this is it right here. EE. And then I have to say negative 11. Now, also, some of them do this. They want you to actually use this, negative 11. And so that's the difference is this is multiply by negative 1, and that's subtract. I don't know if it matters. Let's just see if I get the right answer. Okay, that, and then times. Yeah, see, now here's the problem. I need to go back over here and add. How do you insert? I'm just going to clear. Okay. Square root. And it gave me a parentheses. So now I'm going to put in the same thing. Another parentheses. Oops. Square root. And give another parentheses. 6.67 negative 11 close parentheses times open parentheses. So the outer parentheses I think are for the square root. 5.972 24 close parentheses divided by. Now again, you have to be careful about the divided by, but I don't have any. I just have a 7 down there, so it's not so bad. 7 and then close parentheses for the square root, and then minus 6.37 times 10 to the 6th. Enter. Yeah, okay. Again, it doesn't give me in scientific notation, but it gives me the same thing. I think this one may have an option of converting that to scientific notation. I don't know how to do that, though. Don't, if you're having trouble entering in this thing, this looks terrible. Okay, look at that. Oops. Clear. Mode. Okay, yeah. That looks terrible. That looks terrible. If you need to do parts of it and write down the numbers, do that. Okay, do that. That's the way they did it in the old school. Okay, so we're done with those. Let's move to some awesome calculators. Okay, let's look at these two. These I love. Okay, so these look the same. This is the Hewlett Packard 12C. This is the 11C, and they are different. This is a business calculator. This is a scientific calculator. You notice here it has sine, cosine, tangent. This one does not have those. It does not have trig functions, but it does have price, right? You need that price button. Now, unfortunately, I'm not sure this one's not working right now, so I can't use that. But I don't need trig function, so I actually can do it here. See, this one runs. Now, the Hewlett Packards, especially the older ones, use a notation called RPN. Okay, so in RPN, if I want to do 2 times 4, I wouldn't do 2 and then times and then 4. I would do 2 and then I'd do 4 and then I'd do times. And that may seem stupid, but it's not, okay? Because it allows you to, when I do an operation, it pushes it up into a stack, and then I can pull things down from the stack. Okay, so let me just do 2 times 4. So I'll do 2, enter, 4, oops, clear. I'm not even good with this one either. Store, recall, clear. Where's clear? Okay, I'm going to move my other RPN because I just don't recall. Clear. Where's the clear button? Drop. There's also drop. It's sometimes called drop. Okay. I'm dropping this one. Here's another. This is my actual calculator from college. Now, be warned. It's kind of MacGyvered. So I have here a fan with 3 batteries in there. So this used these 3 1.5 volt in-cell batteries that are the same as a AAA but shorter, and I don't have those. So I'm just using the same thing. I have these wires connected in there anyway, and I think it's working. Yeah. Okay, this one I love. It has a programmable part over here, which I never use. Oh, it turned off. Lost power. Okay, and then it has stacks. So let's do 2. Oh my goodness, I'm so mad. I thought this was working. It's low power. Let's see, 2, enter, 4 times. And it returns that down there. Okay, I think I can do it real quick. So let's do this. Let's work backwards. So I'm going to start over here with this number. I'm going to say 6.67. 6.67 times 10 to the negative 11th. So it's going to be 11 change sign, right? That's kind of weird. Enter. Now I'm going to enter this number, 5.972 exponent 24. Now I need to multiply these two together, so I can say times. Now I need to divide it by 7, so I can say 7 divided by. Now I need to take the square root. See, so I don't need to enter that square root in first. I can do it in last, and that's what I'm doing here. I like it. Okay, now I'd say square root. Now I need to subtract off this, so I'm going to say 6.37 times 10 to the 6th minus, and I get the same thing. Okay, so I really, it takes a little bit getting used to with the RPN notation, but I really like it. You never have to write down numbers because you can just push them up in the stack. Okay, I'll be honest with you. This is the calculator. If I'm going to use a calculator, this one I want to use. If I'm not going to use a calculator, or if I need to get a number and I'm not doing a video, I would use Python. Python is a great calculator. So I'm going to show you how to do this in Python. So let's just move over there right now. Come on over. You have to use a computer. I'm not going to put my computer here because I'm just going to switch to my computer and record from there. So let's go over there, and I'll meet you over there. So here I am. This is a trinket.io. So when I talk about Python, you can install Python on your computer. It's free. There's Python that runs on your phone, and all sorts of ways you can run Python. I really like trinket.io. So this is a web page that seems to run Python. So I'm already logged in. Let me go from the start, and I'll go to new trinket. And then you could do Python, you could do Python 3. The ones with the keys, you have to have a paid account in order to save. You can still make a Python 3. But you want to go down here to GlowScript. GlowScript has vector operations in there and a whole bunch of other cool stuff. And then you can pick this block programming or Python. Just do Python. Okay, so let's do, so here we're going to have our coding window, and here is our output window. So let's just do 2 times 4. Okay, so let's just, the most important thing you're going to want to do is the print statement. So print 2. It's just going to print the number 2. 2. Yay! Now I can do 2 times 4 in there. 8. Yay! Okay, now I can do, watch this. X equals 2. Y equals 4. Print X times Y. So I can do a calculation in the print statement. I could even do this. C equals X times Y. X times Y. Y. And then just print C. And that will work too. Okay, finally, and then I can go up here and change this to 2.33444, and it doesn't care. That's one of the things that makes it great. And there you go. Now, what if I want to say something a little bit, a better print statement? I could say, I could put in parentheses, C equals, comma, C. And so this will print out the string C equals, and then it'll print the number C. And so it looks a little bit better, but you don't have to do that. Okay, but that's your basic idea for calculators in GlowScript. Now let's do this problem that we have right here. So let's see, I had ME, let's just call it M, equals, I'm looking at my numbers here, I don't remember the number. I don't remember the mass of the Earth. Who remembers the mass of the Earth? 5.972 times 10 to the 24th. So in Python, one important thing, capitalization matters. Capital M is not the same as lowercase m as a variable name, and scientific notation is E, then the number. Okay, then I need the radius of the Earth. I'll just call it R. R equals 6.371 times 10 to the 6th. I need G equals 6.67 times 10 to the negative 11th. And then I need lowercase g was 7. So then I wanted to solve for H. I said H. So here's the magic. Okay, H equals square root. Square root's a built-in function to Python. If you're never sure, let's see, if you go up to here, let's just stay on the page. I'll show you later. You can look up these functions before, but there's only a couple that you really need. Square root of, it was G times M, capital M, divided by lowercase g, and then minus the radius of the Earth. So you see here, I didn't calculate things. I wrote out the equation that I had from before. I think that's kind of awesome. And then I can go over here, print H equals H. And then I can even put comma M for meters. And then I can save this, my silly calculation. And I can come back to it later if I need to. Saved it. And I'm gonna give it to you too. And then I'm gonna print it. Oh, it's the same thing. Look at that. Wait, I don't even know what to say except how awesome this is. Oh wait, what if I want to redo the problem and I want to do 7.9 newtons per kilogram? Boom, 7.9, rerun it. You see how easy that is? I mean, I think also when you get into really complicated calculations, you don't even have to write down the whole expression. I just need parts of it and put the parts together. It gives you a lot more power. This, I'm pointing at the screen, you can't even see it. This also is awesome because this runs on your phone. I mean, your phone is the most powerful calculator that you have, so why not just use your phone? Let me just show you a couple more things. I'll show you one more thing. Let's say A equals vector 1, 2, 3. B equals vector negative 0.330 3.1. Print A plus B. Vector operations right there. It treated those as vector. Wait, it gets even better. Print the magnitude of A plus B. If you haven't dealt with vectors, then I don't know what to tell you. It has trig functions built in. I can say theta equals 0.1 print cosine of theta. I do want to show you this. What if for exponents, if I want to do x squared, so x equals 2, 3, and I want to say print x squared, its squared is star 2. It's not hat. Don't do hat. It's star 2. And so it should give me 9. But you can see I can print out a whole bunch of things right there. And then I can change it. And it's beautiful. I love it. Okay, you should love it too. But if you don't, use your calculator. Okay. But the most important thing is that you have a tool that you use on a regular basis and you feel comfortable with that. So use what you're comfortable with and get used to your tool. Be an expert with your tool. Me, I like to do Python. And there's a whole bunch of other things you can do with Python. I could make a graph of height versus G. I don't want to do that right now. If you really want me to, I'll show you how to do that. And I don't even have to worry about one number. I can plot all the numbers by making a graph. I'm just so excited talking about it. Okay, so this is trinket.io. Let me write it down here. Well, the link will be in the trinket.io. There's also glowscript.org, glowscript.org. That's also an online Python that does this. It has the same code. The only difference is it doesn't have the window on the side, so I kind of like Trinket better. But you know, both are great. Okay, so there's your calculator. Remember, when I get to 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to solve that problem with a slide rule, and it's going to be probably pretty awesome. All right, hope you find your favorite calculator. I'll talk to you guys later.